joining us live now from Kabul is Brigadier General Carsten Jacobson, spokesman for ISAF in Afghanistan. I should say there is a very, very long delay on this line, but we do want to give ISAF a chance to tell us what went wrong here. Brigadier General, what happened?
Well, we have seen a situation this early morning hours, actually in the night hours of this morning, where a combined force of Afghan and coalition forces were operating in the eastern border area of Afghanistan. A tactical situation developed on the ground and close air support was called in. We are aware that highly likely this has caused casualties on the Pakistani side. We started the investigation. This is a subject that has to be very thoroughly investigated, and it is of the highest interest for Commander ISAF himself that this investigation is very quickly taken forward and we're getting result on the reality of the ground, on the ground.
Okay, but when you talk about a tactical situation, the BBC in Pakistan has been told there was no militant activity in or around this area.
Well, that is exactly what the investigation is about. We have to look into the details, talk to the people involved, look at the proof in camera bits and so on. We are obviously very concerned about this incident because we are aware that Pakistani soldiers suffered. And as soldiers, Commander ISAF said it very clearly, we very much understand the feelings of the comrades, of the leaders of these soldiers. And he expressed his deep condolence.
Apologies for that. We lost the line there to Kabul. But we did get an idea of what the Brigadier General's thinking is at the moment. We'll try and go back to the Brigadier General if we can before the end of this half hour of BBC.
Okay, the line is lost.
Tell you what, I think we've managed to re-establish communications there with the Brigadier General. Brigadier General, just to interrupt you for a second, sir, we lost you there. The screen went black, but we'll carry on with our conversation if it's okay with you, because we do want to get a sense of what you've been saying. But when you talk about an investigation, I'm not a military man, but there was either militant activity on the ground or there was not. It's an absolute concept here. So in that regard, what is there to investigate?
Well, that is exactly the point. As I said early, it was night. It was the early days of this morning when the incident occurred. And the situation developed, causing close air support to be called in. This has to be looked at. We have to find out what caused the situation on the ground developing in this direction. So you have to look into tapings, into recordings. You have to ask commanders on the ground. But whatever it is, at the end of the day, we are aware that Pakistani soldiers suffered. And it is the commander's greatest wish to very clearly find out what happened in reality, and his thoughts in this moment are with the family and the loved ones of those Pakistani soldiers who perished.
Brigadier General, with all due respect to your rank and the dangerous, difficult job that you and your people do there, this checkpoint was a new checkpoint. It was clearly marked. The BBC in Islamabad has been told the people who died were asleep. They weren't out doing their checkpoint stuff. They were asleep in their beds. If I was running the Pakistani military, I might want to hear you say, I'm really, really sorry, we got it so incredibly wrong. That might be a good starting point.
I can only say that when the investigation gives us a result that just means that this was clearly a situation where 100% the responsibility falls on our side. It is early hours, and we have to look into this case as it happened in a very rugged part of the country, a very deserted part of the country, and in the middle of the night where it was pitch dark. So we have to look into the incident in detail, come to the conclusion, and then talk to the Pakistani side.
Brigadier General Carsten Jacobson with ISAF there in Kabul. Thank you for talking to us, sir, and thank you for putting up with the technical problems there in Afghanistan.